All right, hey guys, here we are, hole number 9. Take a look at this one. That's not a very favorable wind. So what I like to do, I like to get over here. It's going to be a little bit risky. A little bit risky here. So what I'm going to recommend that you guys do is maybe just play this just a little bit more safe. We'll keep the Titan for the length. You'll also see with where I'm trying to aim. Try not to get too aggressive on that sand. Try not to get too aggressive on your topspin. You can see I'm under 4. And we're just going to essentially just play my normal ring adjustment, which will probably be just a hair more than 4. That's about 4.2. So called a great ball. You're not going to want that. But if you can stay away from that top spin, you can keep it from running out too long. So it is okay that I got the great ball, but ideally we're going to try to stay away from that. More than anything in this pro division, we're just going to want to get through this hole. So that's what you can see that I'm doing, is I'm just being very careful with the way that I go. Don't go any more topspin than I did. You don't want to wind up in that back rough. So you got to be very careful. Make sure you're not adding any extra power, and make sure that your pull angle, when you adjust those rings, it's not adding on. If you're supposed to be pulling back at kind of this side angle here like this, make sure that you're not pulling up too much and adding kind of extra distance with your pull angle. So you need to make very careful with the way that you go about pulling your rings to make sure that you're doing it very consistently each and every time. You can see opponent just reaches out into the rough. You can see with the Apocalypse, it does give him kind of an advantage to be able to get up there. However, we don't need to be able to hit the shot like that to get through this hole. So that's what we're going to, more than anything, try to take advantage of. We're just going to try to play it safe. Try to go up in here. I'm thinking something along the lines of 6-ish rings, maybe just a hair more. 7, that's good. Or 6.8, 6 point something. And aside from that, we're just going to max curl this. Make sure that, again, you're not adding any additional power. What this is doing, So a little bit aggressive with my topspin. You can see I use 4. You're probably just going to want to, if you can get to that same spot, try to come in just a little bit on that. 3 would have been a little bit better. Also watch, as I mentioned, with that curl, make sure that you're not adding any overpower whatsoever, and make sure that you're, when you add that curl, making sure that you may even want to come in just a little bit. You can see my grid here. I tried to set the top of the ball to it, maybe even just come in just slightly on that to make sure that it doesn't roll through too much. Because this should be very straightforward. I shouldn't be back here in the rough. This is a very technical mistake that you want to avoid. But it's my first time playing the hole like that. So it's something that you can obviously get dialed in. Second time I play this hole, we're not going to have to worry about this mistake. So that's what you guys want to do, is you want to make sure that, you can make a mistake today. It really doesn't matter. But you'll want to tighten that up in the future attempts. So with that being said, if I catch my perfect ball from here, still going to go in. Just put it on the front of the green there. Make sure that you're not putting it on the fringe, anything like that. Just put it just on the front, get your perfect ball, and you'll see, we're still good. So just try to do what you can to make sure that you get that eagle. That's the best advice that I have. Good luck with your rounds. Also, check out my expert guides. The sooner that you can move out of this pro division, the better. You're going to be able to win things like Apoc cards, Cataclysm cards, Spitfire cards. You're not going to be able to do that in pro. So you don't want to sit down here in pro unless you absolutely have to. So get out of pro as soon as you can and check out those expert guides. I have 2 different sets, one with kind of an advanced bag, one with a regular bag. So what that's going to allow you to do is kind of show you each and each. It really doesn't matter. With weak clubs, you can still put up a good number. And what typically ends up happening, you get a little bit more wind. It makes some of these shots a little bit easier. The shot that I'm doing in pro on 9 is kind of because the wind's too small. If I get a little bit more wind like I do in expert on 9, it makes it a lot easier to go over to where my opponent just tried to and easily get that eagle. So it does, the pro setup, in my opinion, makes it just a little bit harder. So the more that you can learn technically about this game, the better off you'll be. So good luck with your rounds. Take care, and I'll catch you guys later.